Three.
Welcome back, everybody. Lose Your Ass Podcast here. Draft Extravaganza episode. Me and Deirdre counting down or up? That would be up, right? Because we're going 1 through 16. Yeah. We're going counting up style. Reverse NASA. 1 through 16. Bengals through Falcons. Or is there a possible trade? We'll see.
Could be. You'll never know. You never know.
We will see how it goes. This is going to be very interesting. This is, by the way, this is the first mock draft in Lose Your Ass podcast history. So,
This is the first mock draft I've ever done.
Listening, crack a beer, a cup of whiskey, whatever floats your boat. Get ready.
And judge the crap out of us.
Exactly. Some of you may agree. Most of you will disagree. But it will all be in good fun.
All fun.
All right. We're going to start off with the lucky winners of the number 1 pick this year.
The 2-14 Bengals.
2-14 Bengals. The Bengals are a whole disaster show. Come to think of it.
That's a light way of putting it.
Yes. It all starts with the owner, though. Their owner is just terrible.
Terrible. They don't even have an indoor facility. That's so bad when you're in that winter in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Alright, so who do you got Cincinnati picking?
I think that this one is just going to be a simple, no discussion. We're just going to end it here. Joe Burrow will be throwing the football for the Cincinnati Bengals this season.
I also have the same pick. Joe Burrow, 6'4", 216, out of Louisiana State University, the Tigers. He goes from one cat to another.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's not much to speak about. He's an Ohio kid, probably the best season in college history. He threw for, I believe it was like 5,671 yards and over 60 touchdowns, winning the Heisman, the national championship, pretty much every award, unanimous All-American, probably the best season we're ever going to see for a college quarterback.
Yeah. Joe Burrow is the cornerstone guy that Cincinnati needs.
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid, a little old, turning 24 this year. But like I said, Ohio kid, can't go wrong, and their biggest need. Yeah, he's your probably the most ready out of all of them. I mean, you can't mess this up. But
no, the Bengals might find a way, but
they might.
They may, but I would be willing to put a lot of money down that the Bengals do select Joe Burrow from this draft.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, you won't. If you put a lot of money down, I think you'll only get like 7 cents back.
Yes.
I think it's like minus 7,000 is his odds to be. It's
something I'm not willing to put $7,000 on, just because the Bengals could mess this up.
Exactly. But yeah, I totally agree with you on that. We're on the same page.
And I don't see them trading out with the Dolphins, and I don't see the Dolphins giving up 2 picks in the first round to move up 4 spots when there's 4 other legitimate franchise quarterbacks still left in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and I mean,
put it this way: picks 1 through 4 can take a quarterback, and the Dolphins would still get Jordan Love.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
that's true. Okay, so got Joe Burrow first pick, and then we're both with this.
Yes, solid Joe Burrow. Number 2. I have the Redskins sitting at number 2 with no trades. And I have them taking Chase Young out of Ohio State.
Again, same exact pick. I think it's hard to see them passing it up, especially with a defensive-minded guy like Ron Rivera.
Yes.
And you need an impact player. I think that this is the right pick. We saw what effect Nick Bosa had on the San Francisco 49ers. They had him at second. The three last edge guys to come out of Ohio State, including Chase Young, will be Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, and Chase Young. So it's incredible. 6'5", 264, 10-inch hands. He was a junior. He had a little, his stats might not be as good as you think they were, but remember he was out for 2 games, I believe. But still, 16.5 sacks, 6 forced fumbles. It's just he's a beast. He's a beast.
Can we all agree that the NFC East is up for grabs?
Oh, I mean, but every year it's up for grabs. But yes, it's up for grabs this year.
A division with Danny Jones, Carson Wentz, and Dak Prescott. I think one of the most important things that you're going to have to realize if you want to win this division this year, you got to pressure the quarterback.
Oh, 100%. And especially a guy like Danny Jones who is not good at taking care of the ball when he gets hit. And Chase Young forced 6 fumbles. So, I mean, to just imagine him hitting, seeing this guy twice a year, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's going to be scary.
You have 3 other quarterbacks looking at you from the other side. If you give them any amount of time to throw the football, they're going to hurt you.
Yeah, and I mean, you get, and Chase Young is young. Like I said, he's a junior and not a redshirt junior. So he's a big guy. You got to, and even if they double team him, which you can't really do in the NFL, he's going to cause some havoc. Definitely a Nick Bosa type season coming from him next year. I feel it. I'm on the same page with you, Chase Young.
All right. Moving on to the Detroit Disaster Lions. Established 1950. I hate to make this pick because I feel like I'm getting boring. I have number 3, Lions taking Jeff Okudah, cornerback out of Ohio State. I just feel like with Matt Patricia over there, they're going to focus on the defensive side of the ball. Their secondary is weak. Forgot the player they're replacing. Cornerback that they just lost in free agency.
Darius Slay.
Yes, Darius Slay. So, I think Jeff Okudah is, a younger guy. You're not going to have to pay him. And they could rebuild that secondary around him. So I think that this makes the most logic for the Lions.
Matt Patricia is trying to save his job right now, too. So I think
exactly.
I think that he's not going to try to do too much.
I agree. I think he's just going to try to rebuild that franchise.
And I think if you have a lot of young players, you could be like, well, you don't want me to leave because if I leave, who's going to develop it? These guys are used to my system. So I think that's a good pick. I could see Detroit doing that. I do not have that, though. I have a trade alert. Trade alert. Exactly. I have the Miami. I have the Miami Dolphins trading up to grab Tua Tagovailoa Jr. out of Alabama.
Let's go.
Detroit receives the 5th pick and the 26th pick with this. They tanked for Tua. They gave up their whole season was about Tua. So they still have Ryan Fitzpatrick on on your roster. Why not give Tua a year to get better and then see if he could come back as anything good.
Now, can I ask you this question?
Yes.
This is something I thought about, and this is what I was actually going to trade the Dolphins with the Redskins. But then I thought about
I
it.
had that as well.
I thought Redskins aren't drafting a quarterback. Lions aren't drafting a quarterback. Giants aren't drafting a quarterback. So I thought, why would the Dolphins really make that trade unless they thought they were threatened by another team to grab them?
I think that they're threatened by the Chargers, and don't count out the Jaguars. They also have two
So you're saying
first-round
that the
picks.
Dolphins are trading up to avoid one of those other teams
Oh,
trading?
100%.
Gotcha.
100%. That's
Gotcha.
what I think that's what's going to be about this whole time. It's going to be, I'm just trading up so that I could grab this guy before someone else gets him. I don't think they have to worry about Detroit, though they did talk about Detroit potentially drafting a quarterback. I've heard that rumor, but
Yeah, it would make sense.
I thought it would make sense if they signed someone instead, but that's a topic for
Their
another.
defense. But yes.
Yeah, I think that's a topic for But yeah, 6'1", 218.
Thanks.
He's 6'1", 218. He comes from Hawaii, so similar weather to Miami. Used to that warm weather. And when he was good, he was, if he was healthy, he'd be the number one pick. So it's just really about his health right now. But I think Miami's willing to take that risk.
I disagree with you there, but just because I'm
You don't think of course. But I think Miami, their whole season was based on getting Tua. So they didn't get the number one pick, but they got Tua, and I think Tua fits better in that system than Joe Burrow would have. Because I think they did re-sign Fitzpatrick for another year to be and there's not a better bridge quarterback than Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I think you go with Tua because he's got what you need. He's young. You're building that young team. Brian Flores is a great coach. They really did a number with the defense this offseason. So I think that they're going to be okay. And I think taking a year back, I don't think they plan on winning a Super Bowl this year. So I think that this will be their redshirt year for him, and then hopefully he comes back better than ever.
All right. Interesting. So you have a trade at 3.
I have a trade at 3, yes.
Lions and Dolphins swapping. Okay. I like that. All right.
Who you got for number 4? Who you got for your Giants?
Big Blue. I thought about this one for a while. This is probably the longest time I spent on a pick.
Yeah, this one's a tough one.
So, I thought about it like this. I have, at number 4, let me say my pick and then I'll explain why. Number 4, I have the Giants taking Isaiah Simmons, linebacker, out of Clemson. The reason I say this, I know the Giants need an offensive lineman. However, we're sitting here in the deepest offensive line draft of all time. I know you need those big bodies to protect, but last year, a lot of the Giants' problem was not the offense. It was a lot of the defense. The way that you build the defense, the way you can rebuild quickly, is doing what the Jets did. Get yourself a Jamal Adams. Get yourself an Isaiah Simmons, somebody who can move around, somebody who can play multiple positions on the
defense. And both great
end.
Leaders.
Yes, you have to get those type of players. And when they're available, you have to take them. Figure out the offensive line. You can fix the offensive line with some other things. They made some signings. You can, I don't know what you want to do. Throw a fullback in, throw Evan Ingram in to block off the edge. Do what you got to do. But if you can patch up that defense and get through this season, there will be a lot more wins when we have 30 points than more losses than when we have 30 points.
And again, you're just building for the future too. You went from a very old quarterback to a young quarterback, and you're just building. Your defense is pretty young, your offense is pretty young. I think that's a great. I think that's a great move. I give you. I realize we've been forgetting to grade each other, but it's all good. But for the Giants, for your move, I give that an A+. I think that the Giants should do that. I have something a little different though. I have another trade alert. Exactly. I have the Chargers moving up. Same reason as Miami moving up. I have the Chargers moving up to grab my favorite prospect, Justin Herbert. Can you sense the sarcasm? Yeah. Yeah. I think that they're going to draft him. I want it.
At number 6. No, at number 4.
At number 4, yeah. I think they're moving up to avoid a Jaguars type trade, and I think that they're, Jaguars, Patriots, couple team Raiders. I think that's what they're moving. The Giants receive the 6th overall pick and the second round pick.
Okay.
Good for the Giants.
That would be good for the Giants. I actually like that.
Yeah. I just figure LA wants, again, that shiny new toy, but
and in that,
essentially, I think just a younger Phillip Rivers.
I feel like in that too, the Giants would still end up with Isaiah Simmons.
Well, you never know. You have to.
Because if the Lions would drop it back to 5, I think the Lions would still take Jeff Okudah.
You have to see.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Stay tuned, everyone.
Stay tuned. So for your number 5, you got Miami.
Yes, number 5, I do have Miami.
So we got Miami taken.
Number 5, I have Miami taken Tua Tagovailoa, QB out of Alabama. We've already spoken about him. Deirdre had him going a little bit earlier than me, but to the same team.
Same team.
I think he's gonna end up in Miami. Like you said, they tanked all year for him. That's who's going to Miami, and they're gonna supply him with weapons. I mean, they have 74 draft picks in this upcoming draft. They're gonna put a couple wide receivers.
Right, and I'm pretty sure that their cap is pretty good too.
$89.6 million, I believe it was.
Yeah, I know they paid quite a bit of people, but yeah, no, I agree with you. And the wide receiver, to grab a new wide receiver, you could do that in the second round. You have the pick 18 for offensive lineman. No, I agree with you. It's deep. Yeah, it's definitely deep. And they improved pretty much everywhere on defense. So I think focusing on the offense.
Yes.
The offense this year, the offensive weapons in this draft are incredible. It was so hard going up to the 20th pick and figuring out what wide receiver is going to get taken before which wide receiver. Mm-hmm. So I agree with you on that. I think Miami has all the weapons in the world. They're gonna supply him with weapons, and this is his redshirt year. I think you're spot on with that as well.
Yeah, I think they'll end up with him. I just think they'll still end up with him at 5. The reason why I thought about it's how we said they tanked for Tua, but did they really?
Well, at the beginning of the season, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
but
it's you have 3 draft picks in the first round. I think they would be happy with Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Tua Tagovailoa, or Jordan Love. So
I agree.
I think that it's you'd be happy with any of those quarterbacks with weapons. Now you can supply those weapons if you keep those draft picks.
I get what you're saying. I just think they put this effort for Tua, and I think that they're interested in Tua, and I think they re-signed Ryan Fitzpatrick, knowing that Tua's going to need a year out. And I think that the Jaguars might be looking up to get a quarterback as well. So I think that it's just it's a sense of urgency, but I can also see what's happening with you as well. For number 5, I have the Detroit Lions, and I have them taking the same exact person that you have them taking with Jeff Okudah.
All right.
6'1", 200 pounds out of Ohio State. Same reasons you gave. I think that they need that cornerback. I don't think that they should get a quarterback. I think they need a cornerback.
Yes.
And Jeff Okudah really impressed me. He's a great tackler. He does all the right things. Seems like a very well-spoken young man. Like I said, does the right things. He ran a 4.48. He's young. He's a junior, not redshirted junior. His speed is incredible. He sizes up to guard bigger people. He's like explosive as hell. He's so good, and he's willing to tackle running backs. Like he'll tackle you. He'll find you.
Yeah.
So I think that he's a great pick for them. I feel bad for him going to Detroit, but I think that this is the pick that they need.
Yeah, they're just never gonna figure it out. So really, whoever they draft is going to dead water. By the time they become a free agent, they're leaving.
Oh yeah, for sure. And apparently, there's been issues with Matt Patricia and these players. Issues with his players being disrespectful to them, stuff like that. And one was a quarterback. So, yeah, I think that's the only issue with Jeff Okudah's pick is that he has to, unfortunately, go to Detroit. But
a lot of these because I'm like looking at him like, wow, I really like these players. Hate these teams.
Yeah. I mean, he had 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles this year. He's with a great defense. I'm sure a lot of teams had trouble getting a ball off when Chase Young is the one who's grabbing it. So, I think that he'll be great. So, yeah, same pick for you. Same pick that you had for Detroit, Jeff Okudah. It's their biggest need.
Yeah. They have to. They have to make that choice. That they can't go opposite of that.
Yeah.
Smartest decision.
I agree with you. Totally in agreement with you. So for number 6, you have the Los Angeles Chargers selecting.
I do. And they will be taking Mr. Pacific Northwest. Justin Herbert, quarterback out of Oregon. I know you don't like him. I know you say he underthrows a lot. I know he underthrows a lot. I apologize. I just look at some. We've discussed it before. That's gonna be his spot. He reminds me of Sunshine from Remember the Titans. He's an LA kid. He's an Oregon kid. That is going to be where he plays a 10 to 15 year career. Like, God allowing, he's going to be that guy over there. And I do believe the Chargers will bring in a veteran quarterback to play this season and kind of show Justin the ropes. But that Charger team is ready to win now. The only thing they're missing is that special quarterback.
Right.
Because Philip Rivers wasn't. Philip Rivers is a special quarterback in other ways. But
that's such a Giant fan saying that. I think
Eli was very.
Justin Herbert had 32 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's 6'6", he's 237. I understand why they're picking him. I think if he went out last year, he would have been, I think, the second. He might have been a Giant if he went out last year, or a Cardinal. But I'm not a big fan of his, but I think that that's what's going to happen as well.
Right.
He's a senior, and he was a senior. So he's not old. He's not old man Burrow. But he's a very talented player. It'll be interesting to see who does go first, him or Tua, if the injuries scare people. But I think that's how it's going to go.
Do you know that Justin Herbert had a 4.06 GPA?
I believe it, but I don't think that he had the highest on the Wonderlic. I think the person who had the highest on the Wonderlic was Jake Fromm.
Yes.
And we'll get to the Wonderlic, I'm sure, down the line when we talk about other potential draftees.
Jake Fromm, State Farm.
But yeah, no, he does, and he does seem like he has his stuff together. He very well spoken young man, just a little soft spoken, and I don't think that's an LA thing. But I think the Chargers will pick him up because this is their first year in a while without a quarterback. In a very long time, 2004, since 2004, so 16 years.
Yes. Yep.
So
16 years.
I think they're looking to rebound. I put that in my notes. This is their Phillip Rivers rebound.
Young, handsome guy.
Exactly. Who doesn't want a young hot thing as their rebound? It usually doesn't work though.
I'm not gonna say nothing. Ashley's right outside the room right now. She hears
Oh
that.
yeah.
But yes.
So, yeah, smart man. You don't know what I'm talking about. That's So with that pick, I go to my number 6 pick, which is the New York Giants, and I have them taking the exact same person that you did as well. I got them taking Isaiah Simmons. Yeah, I have a hard time believing they're not, and I know that they're between 3 people.
Yes.
That's what rumors has.
Yeah.
Tristan Wirfs, Mekhi Becton, or Isaiah Simmons, and I just think they're going to take Simmons.
Yep.
I think they will improve. Even though linebacker isn't their biggest need, safety is, so they might convert him into. I know that he is a safety, but playing more of the safety role. Right. But I could see him doing like a Jamal Adams type role.
Yes.
And he's the best player available, so
exactly.
I think
habit of doing that.
Right, and I think that fits into a nutshell. And I think having a Clemson player on your team doesn't hurt because a Clemson player does know what championships are. They went to 3 in a row. Dale's a great coach, and I don't really hear a lot of the Clemson players. I know that I think they had a little bit of trouble this year, but when they hit the league, I don't hear them getting into much trouble. So I think that this is a good pick for. He's a good leader too. With a young team, you want that. You want a young leader. When you have veterans, it's easy for them to be the leader, but you want a young guy who can come in and be a leader.
I think because Saquon Barkley is very much the leadership role of the Giants offense. I think having 2 young leaders running opposite sides of the field, I think that could really help inspire the team. Having Isaiah run the defense and having Saquon run the offense, I think it could really mesh well.
Both explosive players, both
yes.
people that young kids are going to look up to and be like, oh, that's who I want. And both incredible, both say the right thing.
Yes.
Both do the right thing. I think that this is a great pickup for the Giants, and I hope that this is what they do for selfish reasons and also because I think this is a good pick for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that works out well. And I would rather your prediction come true where the Giants get the 28th pick.
They'll get the second pick, the second round pick that the Chargers have, which I should have double checked that the Chargers have a second round pick, but I think they do.
So number 6 and a second.
Yeah, they get a second.
I'll take that.
So, yeah, so with that pick, we will have. We come to the Carolina Panthers, the new look Carolina Panthers, by the way, with Matt Rule taking over, Joe Brady as your offensive coordinator, new wide receiver, new quarterback, new wide receiver, just repaid, just extended. Christian McCaffrey, and you have a depleted defense. So which way are you going with the Panthers? Who are they taking?
Oh, we're going defense. Not the way that everybody thinks they're going. I think they're going to kind of keep it in the Carolinas. I got them taking Javion Kinlaw out of South Carolina, defensive linebacker. I think it makes sense. I know he's not the highest ranked D-line player in the draft. He is the second or the third, I believe. But I think they're going to keep it close to home. I think Matt Rue is going to build up that defensive line, kind of like he did at Pitt. He has the offensive weapons. You got to stick to the D-line. Javion Kinlaw, I believe, he's out of South Carolina. Huge.
He is out of South Carolina. He's big, over 300 pounds. I think 6'4".
Yeah. The only thing that scares me is that's also where Clowney is from.
Right, and he's a lazy player.
Yes. Let me see.
So you got them taking. He is a senior, but I don't think a redshirt senior. He's 6'5", 324, 10.5 hands. I'm sorry.
He's 22.
Okay, so
Younger than Burrow.
Yeah.
So
everyone's younger than Burrow. My grandmother's younger than Burrow. So that's why you see him getting Javon Kinlaw, a hometown boy.
Yep. Yeah, I see him. I see them going with that.
All right.
Just do a little something different into this one. But I definitely do see them building up that defense. So I think they're gonna stick on that line, build that up. You have a lot of offensive weapons. I think what let them down was their quarterback play last year and their defense. So
yeah, and I mean, they lost essentially every leader on every type of area that they have. I did go different than you on this. I did not do another trade though. I do have the Panthers taking numbers. I have them taking Derek Brown, senior out of Auburn.
That's what I was between. That was my other choice.
He's 6'5", 326. Big body. It's their biggest need is defensive tackle, as you know. Just anything really on defense. They really got beat up in free agency, and I think Luke Kuechly retiring was terrible for them. But I think Derek Brown seems like he could be that person for them. He had 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. It says on his 2019 season stats. I don't think that's right. Yeah. 4 sacks, which is a little, but he's a big guy. I believe he was Defensive Player of the Year. He seems Defensive Player of the Year for SEC. I might be wrong on that, but he seems that he's got a good head on. I think it's just a safe pick, and I think when you're a new coach, you go on that safe pick. It's your biggest need. He will probably be on the big boards as the best player remaining. So I went Derek Brown on this pick.
All right.
Same thing, big boys though. We both picked some big boys.
Yes. That's for sure.
Yeah. So who you got? Arizona.
50 pounds. It's like a great WWE tag team.
Put them over the Brothers of Destruction.
Yes.
Big boys. I mean,
but
they're both big boys. Both similar.
Yeah, right. Have you seen on Netflix The Big Show?
I have seen it pops up, but I have not watched it yet.
Check it out. It's very traditional sitcom.
Oh, is it? All right, I gotta check it out because I'm a big Office fan, so I love a good sitcom.
Oh, it's not that good.
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that good.
It's like Disney Channel sitcom.
Yeah, gotcha. You're getting ready for that dad life. I see it. I like it. Ashley's got to be proud. You're getting ready for the dad life.
I've had a couple dad jokes recently that have been terrible.
Yeah, one of them was on our last podcast. It was pretty bad. But
Yeah.
all right.
I brought brownies to everybody I work.
So we got the Arizona Cardinals with the 8th pick. Who do you got them taking, or you got to trade?
I have the Cardinals.
All right,
You ready for this one?
I am.
So we all admit Kyler's a little guy, right?
Very small.
All right. So you need a big person to block him. So with that being said, I have the Cardinals taking. I'm sorry, kiddo. I have to do this to you. I have the Cardinals taking Andrew Thomas out of Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Big body. Get him in there. Block up Kyler. Open him up some space. I do believe Mekhi Becton will be falling in this draft after results from his combine drug test.
Okay. I can see what you mean there. But I wonder what it is, because he never had any in.
Never had any.
We'll see.
Yes.
No,
he
didn't.
I think he drops. I don't think he drops far.
Yeah, I think the team's willing to take a risk on him.
Yeah.
There's just so many people who need offensive tackles that I think that depending on what type of drug he failed with.
Oh yeah.
Because remember, with the new CBA, with the new CBA, marijuana is considered. I think it's just a fine. You don't get suspended, and you don't have to go into the substance of abuse program.
Yes.
Which,
AKA Josh Gordon.
Right. So you don't have to go into that. So if it's something like that, I'm sure they're like, okay, well, we'd rather it be that. So I think it all depends on what it is. But I went in the same direction as you for Arizona's pick. I think everyone's pretty much going in the same direction, but not. I didn't have them getting Andrew Thomas. I have them grabbing Tristan Wirfs, 6'5", 322, out of Iowa.
All right. It's a good pick.
Really? They're going to be an athletic team.
Yes.
They got Kenyon Drake, athletic. Kyler Murray, athletic. DeAndre Hopkins, athletic. Christian Kirk, athletic. They got a lot of athletic players. I think that Tristan Wirfs has the. I think he did like a 4. He had an insane combine. He was incredible and super athletic. I can totally see him being the first guy off the board. I mean, I'd pick him. You know how much I love him. And I think with an athletic team, you need an athletic guy to protect your new, shiny, small quarterback, as well as making sure he has the time to throw it to that new, shiny offensive weapon that you pulled a robbery on. He had a 4.85 40-yard dash for a guy that's 320.
Oh yeah.
Big, and he's young. He's young. He's not, he's 21 years old. He just turned 21.
Yep.
So you got a young team. You got a good team.
Great pick.
I think that's what I do. But I do agree that they're definitely going to grab an offensive tackle. It's something. Arizona is not one to play with in that. First off, they weren't one to play with last year, even though their record doesn't show that. But they're not one to play this year because they got that new weapon. Kenyon Drake came. When he came, they played so much better. They got a good defense.
They were in so many games.
They were.
There.
And now having someone who can protect Kyler Murray, I think For sure. For sure.
Yes. I
So
don't
we
go
got,
either of those picks.
no, I don't think you could either. I don't think you
It's
could.
like you're choosing a 98 overall over a 97 overall. Like,
And I think that's kind of the way with the top three offensive tackles. Like any of them could
yeah,
get put anywhere. Actually, all four of them really
yeah,
could be
right.
put anywhere. And you could be like, oh, I could see it there. I could see it there. I could see them wanting someone big. I could see them wanting someone athletic. I could see them. So yeah.
Yep.
So the ninth pick.
Mm.
Let's see what you got.
Before we get to that ninth pick, I think we have to do our halftime break.
Oh yes, for sure. You're right. So let's take a break. Everyone, go refill your cup. We'll be right back with 9 to 16.
I have 8 straight wide receivers going, so make sure you tune back in.
Oh goodness. All right. We'll be right back.